Yu-Gi-Oh! An incredibly complex card game with tens of thousands of cards. However, what if each set was separated from the rest of the massive card pool and your choices when building a deck were extremely limited? In this series, in order to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! From the ground up, I will be embarking on an adventure through the history of the card game with Jeexx. In each episode, we will have access to all the cards in a select product, and using only the cards in that product, both of us will build a deck before playing a best of 3 match to determine the winner of the episode. We will move in a chronological order in the series, and with each new episode, we will forget the cards of the past in order to experience something brand new. We hope you enjoyed this adventure through Yu-Gi-Oh! And its evolution with us. Welcome to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. What do you want me to say? It's Cyberdark Impact, man. No, for real, ladies and fellas, welcome back to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. And yeah, Cyberdark Impact is today's main set. And if you know anything about this set, it is quite infamous for being one of the absolute worst sets ever released in Yu-Gi-Oh! But luckily, we have also the dawn of no more tournament packs, but the dawn of Champion Pack Game 1, which actually contains some very good cards to save us in this episode. And because of that, we're sort of implementing a new rule, I guess, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if this is gonna ever apply in the future. Apart from this set, but for the sake of this set specifically, we had to put this rule in effect where we have to have in our initial main deck at least 15 cards from Cyberdark Impact. Because I'm gonna be honest, when we look at the Champion Pack Game 1 and we would look at what's in Cyberdark Impact, there would not be that many Cyberdark Impact cards in either of our decks. Like, no way. There would be maybe 6. Maybe like 9 maybe, but this set is bad, so yeah. But you might find out why very shortly, so let's take a look what's in the episode. And sorry for the very long breakdowns last time. It's kind of funny that me and Jeexx both end up having very long, not only my set breakdown, but also our deck breakdowns being very long last time. It's kind of funny that it just coincided. I'll try to be more efficient this time. So the Cyberdark archetype, obviously, Cyberdark Impact is one of the core things here. In all of these, Cyberdark, Horn, Edge, and Keel, they all on normal summon can target a low-level dragon monster in your grave and equip it to this card, and they gain attack equal to the monster equipped with the effect. And Horn inflicts piercing battle damage. Edge can attack directly, and Keel inflicts a tiny amount of burn damage if it destroys an opponent's monster by battle. And then when they're equipped, the equipped monster is destroyed instead. It's not it becomes a playable archetype very, very much later on. I think it was literally 2022 when they got the structure dose support, but yeah, it's a very bad archetype. Cyber Ogre, a bad tribute monster, has some relevancy if you want to go that route a little bit later. Cyber Esper, an interesting card. 1800 defense is quite substantial when it's in phase of attack position though. You can look at every card your opponent draws. Then we have more level monsters. These most likely will not do anything, so I don't think I need to talk about them. Dark Lucius level 8 is very big, and it's very good if it ever hits the field, but that's the big if, unfortunately. Then we have the most powerful card ever printed in Yu-Gi-Oh! Apaki. And yeah, Shadow Sword right up. If you get the reference, then good job. For real though, Abaki is one of the better cards in the set. 1700 attack is decent, and when it's destroyed by battle lines in the graveyard, both players take 500 burn damage. Probably for the sake of our format, the single best card in Cyberdark Impact, Snipe Hunter. 1500 attack, so okay. But the effect, you can discard a card and then target a card on the field. You roll a 6-sided die and you destroy the target unless you roll a 1 or a 6. So a 66.6% chance to pop a card on the field by discarding a card. Can be used multiple times in a row, but obviously there's a chance to fail a third of the time. But still, like, very, very good removal tool, and especially something that will cover in Champion Pack Game 1, this is a very core card. Vanity's Fiend, also a very good monster, just a 1 tribute, 2400 beater, cannot be spell summoned, and neither player can spell summon monsters. Obviously extremely oppressive in today's metagame. For the sake of our format, it will not be insane, but it's still a 1 tribute, 2400 beat stick. Then you have the barrier statues. Stormers is even banned this day because of Flunderies, but all of these same thing, 1000 attack and defense, and neither player can spell summon a monster except the monsters of their respective attributes. Vanity's Ruler is the upgrade of Vanity's Fiend. It has the spell summon lock for only your opponent with 100 more attack points. Then we have just a bunch of absolute garbage here. Rampaging Rhinos can be a 2k a beater, playing around with columns, same thing with Infiltrator, plays around with columns, so yeah, not very great. Cyberdark Dragon must be fusion summoned. It's the fusion of the Cyberdark monsters. You target a dragon monster, gains attack equal, and gains 100 attack for each monster in your graveyard. It's 1000 attack base. I think the hilarious part about Cyberdark Dragons, the whole thing is like they all like target dragon monsters in your graveyard, but they obviously want to target Cyber and Dragon. That's what they did in the show, but that's a machine and not a dragon, so it doesn't even function with that card. Real nice. Cyber Ogre 2 is the payoff that I was talking about, like the only reason you would want to play Cyber Ogre. It's 2600, so bigger than anything will be, that anything relevant apart from maybe one card that will cover. And when it attacks, it gains the attack equal to half the attack of the attack target during damage calculation. It will always be bigger than whatever you're swinging over, basically. It's so big, but it's a fusion summon of 2 specific cards that are 2 of the same level 5, a bad level 5, so yeah. Instant Fusion, one of the only actual good spells here. Obviously very good these days, still limited, but we unfortunately have no targets for it in here. I guess I still should cover it. For 1000 LP, you special summon a level 5 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck, but it cannot attack and it's destroyed during the end phase. So yeah. J-Strike, also a limited card. I don't think we'll unfortunately be able to really play around with the chain stuff. The tools just aren't good enough, and we just don't have the toolbox to play around with it. So yeah. Everything else, like I said, like basically all of the spells here are absolute garbage. The traps, mostly the same thing. The literally like only 2 that I think are even worth talking about. Cyber Shadow Gardna is a continuous trap that during your opponent's main phase, you can spell summon this card as an effect monster. That's a level 4 with question mark, attack, and defense, while being also a trap. And when your opponent's monster declares an attack that targets this card, the attack and defense of this become the same as the attacking monster. So it always crashes with your opponent's monster. And then during your opponent's end phase, you set this card so you can't use it as tribute fodder. So it's essentially like it decentralizes attacking from your opponent, but only if it's the only thing on your field. So it's very gimmicky, but it's that's one of the better cards in Cyberdark Impact. And then Black Horde of Heaven is a counter trap where when your opponent would special summon exactly one monster, you negate the special summon if you do destroy it. And the problem here is that it's only for special summons, but it can still be good. But yeah, as you can see, not many playable cards here, and that's where Champion Pack Game 1 comes in. And this pack is filled with bangers, so let's get to it. Satellite Cannon is a level 5 with 0 attack and defense, quite unassuming, but it cannot be destroyed by battle with a level 7 or lower monster, which is most of the stuff basically in the entire set that we're going to be playing, basically everything. During each of your end phases, this card gains 1000 attack, and if it attacks, the attack increase returns to 0 after damage calculation. But you can basically just have this sit there in defense, grow in attack until you can literally just outright kill your opponent, unless they have their own satellite cannon, obviously. Book of Moon, we have seen this multiple times. Target a face monster on the field and change the face and defense position. Obviously very good. Metamorphosis is here. We can spell summon fusion monsters from the extra deck with the same level as a monster we tribute. Sakura to armor, extremely good obviously. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, you target the attacking monster and destroy it. One of the ways of actually dealing with Satellite Cannon. And Satellite Cannon is the card that I was alluding to when I talked about Snipe Hunter being actually quite core here. Night Assailant, another way to actually destroy the Satellite Cannon. Anything else as well, it's just on flip, you pop a monster your opponent controls. Basically just a man-eater bug with an extra effect if you have other flip monsters, so very good. Big Shield Gardener is very big, 2600 defense. We've seen this as well. When the spell card is activated, target face down card, it gets flipped to face up defense position and you negate the activation, and when it's attacked then it gets flipped to attack. So essentially if you swing at it with two things, then you can guaranteed get rid of it. Limited removal doubles the attack of machine monsters, probably not going to be relevant here. Solemn Judgment definitely will be, though. When a monster would be summoned or a spell trap is activated, you pay half of your life points to negate summon or activation and destroy the card. This is actually why I think tribute setting, I think it's still like the play, because you can still obviously take damage if you just normally tribute summon Satellite Cannon. So I definitely think like tribute setting Satellite Cannon is going to be the play. Obviously then when if you want to use it, you have to flip summon it, and then that can be negated with Solemn Judgment. But tribute setting and having it sit there until your opponent swings it is a way to get around Solemn Judgment. So that's obviously very good. Refill Bounder, another very good card, 1700 attack before damage calculation. If this card is being attacked by your opponent's monster and was in attack position at the start of the damage step, then your opponent takes the burn damage equal to the monster that attacked at Refill Bounder, but then Refill Bounder always gets popped afterwards, so it can be beaten over with small stuff as well. Econ makes the return as well. Either you can target a monster your opponent controls and change its battle position, or by attributing a monster you can target a monster your opponent controls and take control of it until the end phase. But of average, 5 monsters in your graveyard, shuffle 5 in the deck and draw 2. Mysterious Guard, on flip, you target a monster on the field, and if you control a warrior monster, you can target one additional monster, and you place first target on top of the deck, and then additional targets to the hand if you still control a warrior monster. And I think the big thing here is going to be Big Shield Gardener. It's going to be very hard to beat over unless you can establish multiple monsters on the field. And it's a flip monster that can be bounced back to your hand with Night Assailant. So, yeah. King Tiger Wanghu, we've also seen before, when a monster with 1400 less attack is normal summon or spell summon, destroy the monsters if Wanghu is on the field face up. So, on the flip summon of stuff like Mysterious Guard and Night Assailant, this, actually, yeah, never mind. It's only normal summon, spell summon. So yeah, never mind. Wanghu is going to be very situational. I always forget that this normal spell summon, it's not just summon. So, situationally, maybe very good, but yeah, a bit gimmicky in the set. My Body Shield, when your opponent activates a spell trap or a monster effect that would destroy a monster on the field, you pay 1500 to negate the activation and destroy the card. Obviously very good to protect stuff like Satellite Cannon from being destroyed by Night Assailant or Sakuratsu. Doesn't work, unfortunately, against Snipe Hunter, since Snipe Hunter does, it's not guaranteed to destroy. So you can't use My Body Shield on Snipe Hunter, unfortunately. Final countdown, 2000 life points to win the duel in 20 turns. 20 turns is a long time, but I feel like this set with stuff like Big Shield Guard, Nas, and Satellites just sitting there. Final countdown actually may be very good, but we also have a lot of life point cost to be paid with stuff like Solemn Judgment, My Body Shield as well. So maybe hard to use, but definitely an option still. And I think Threatening Roar is also valid to talk about. Just a simple trap where your opponent cannot declare an attack this turn. So yeah, Champion Pack Game 1 is mostly bangers, and that's why we basically put the rule in motion, because Cyberdark Impact is still very iconic, although it's iconic for being bad. We still want to see like some Cyberdark Impact cards, so that's the reason for the rule to be put in place. But yeah, regardless, a lot of pressure, question mark pressure, this time around, since the winner of the episode, or sorry, the loser of the episode will get to pick their structure deck next time. And if you know what's happening after Cyberdark Impact, the structures that come out, Yeah, but I think it's pretty safe that whoever loses this episode is winning next week. So that'll be interesting. And Jeexx has very clearly established that he wants to pick the winning deck for that. So let's see if Jeexx decides to troll this week with his deck. It'll be interesting to see what we have to work with. So thank you for watching this app breakdown, and I will see you all in the deck building section.
Okay, so hello, how are you doing? First and foremost, we're gonna be playing Cyberdark Impact next. Cyberdark Impact and ChamP1, I think. ChamP1 being the successor to the tournament packs, and well, that the existence of ChamP1 made it nearly impossible to make a fresh and real Cyberdark Impact deck, which is kind of reminiscent of a Magician's Force from back in the day. But yes, Cyberdark Impact is notoriously one of the weakest sets in the entire game, with literal little identity to the actual set. But there being some cards that came in it that eventually found a really awful niche of some kind. Cards such as, I think, Chain Strike. Yeah, Chain Strike should be in this. Barrier statues are all in this, and it's just overall the quality of the set is horrible. But there are some specific outliers in the set that eventually became a problem, to the point where I think Chain Strike is still limited. Yeah, it's still at 1. Because you could pop multiples of these and that would just be horrible to play against. Imagine you hit Chain Link 2 or higher, or let's say Chain Link 3, and you pop 3 of these back to back. Your opponent is going to take already about 5,000 damage, I think. It's going to be 1.2k, 1.6k, and 2k. Yeah. Just not very fun to deal with, right? Nobody wants to play against that. So that's why it's still at 1. But yes, to start it off, we have a Bucky. A Bucky is a 1,700 beat stick, and he has the effect of when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard by battle, both players take 500 damage. Very bad, very shit, very cool, very awesome. Yeah. Cyber Esper is a 1.8k defensive wall with the effect of while this card is in face-up attack position, you can look at every card your opponent draws. That's interesting. That's a pretty cool effect. These are both from Cyberdark Impact, and you can probably tell when we get to the next few cards that that's the case. We have King Tiger Wang Hu. Wang Hu is a card that I don't think we saw last time around we could play it. I don't remember what set that was anymore, but I think it was the one with the beasts. Yeah, that really narrows it down, doesn't it? But yes, Wang Hu is a 1.7k beat stick with the effect of when a monster with 1400 or less attack is normal summoned or special summoned. Destroy those monsters with 1400 or less attack. This card must be face up on the field to activate and to resolve this effect. He is a fairly powerful card. He can control the board. You can't really normal summon things blindly after it hits the board with a lot of these cards. Well, not really. That's a fucking lie. But for a lot of the game, a lot of the cards didn't have more than 1,400 attack, so you couldn't just normal summon them, such as Bladefly and other similar cards. So, and then we have Mysterious Guard and Night Assailant, both flip monsters. Mysterious Guard having the effect of target one face-up monster on the field, and if you control a warrior monster, you can target one additional face-up monster on the field. Place the first target on the top of the deck, and then return the additional target, if any, to the hand if you still control a warrior monster. So basically, you can get rid of 2 cards by spinning one and by bouncing one. And I think that's a really good effect. First and foremost, because the spin is that's without the warrior. If the bounce was without a warrior, I would probably say that this card is fairly good, but not insanely powerful. But because the fact that you can spin the card and basically dictate what your opponent is going to draw next, it's really good. It's honestly really good. Then we have Night Assailant. Night Assailant is a card that we've seen a couple of times. It has the flip effect of target one monster your opponent controls and destroy that target. Simple as. And then it has the additional effect of if this card is sent from the hand to the graveyard, target one flip monster in your graveyard and add that target to your hand. Except Night Assailant. So you can't fuel your hand with Night Assailants, basically, by discarding Night Assailants. So it's pretty good. It's probably going to be the most important card in the entire set. Then you have Reflect Pounder, and it has the effect of before damage calculation. If this card is being attacked by an opponent's monster and was in attack position at the start of the damage step, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the attacking monster's attack. If you do, after damage calculation, destroy this card. 1,700 beat stick is nothing to scoff at, and the effect is a fairly good burn. It can be really good. And then we have Satellite Cannon. Satellite Cannon it's a 1-2 monster first and foremost, 0 attack, 0 defense machine, and it has the effect of this card cannot be destroyed by battle with a level 7 or lower monster. During each of your event phases, this card gains 1000 attack. If this card attacks, this increased attack returns to 0 after damage calculation. So basically, if you have this card stay on the field for long enough, it will just win you the game. But the biggest issue is that it's probably not gonna stay on the field for too long. And you can't even normal summon it if Wang Hu is on the field. But yeah, this is probably gonna be the main win con alongside like board control. Then we have Snipe Hunter, which is a Cyberdark Impact card, which is a level 4, 1,500 beat stick, and that has the additional effect if you can discard one card, then target one card on the field, roll a 6-sided die, and destroy that target unless you roll a 1 or a 6. It's pretty good. It's honestly self-explanatory why this kind of effect would be good. You can fuel your graveyard for specific strategies that existed at the time, and you can also have a chance at controlling the board with its effects. I think Snipe Hunter is a really good card for the set that it came out in. And then we have Vanity's Fiend. Vanity's Fiend being the monster version of Vanity's Emptiness. It's horrible. It's a level 6 monster with 2,400 attack. And has the effect of neither play can special summon monsters. And that's not really relevant for the most part. Then we have Book of Moon. Book of Moon having the effect of target one face-up monster on the field and change that target to face-down defense position. Yep. And Enemy Controller has the effect of target one face-up monster on your opponent's side of the field and change that target's battle position, or you can use the other effect, which is tribute one monster, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls and take control of that target. And I think that effect is fairly powerful because of situations such as having a satellite cannon with a lot of attack and maybe a limit removal in your hand. Now we have My Body as a Shield. My Body as a Shield is a not really... It's weird because it's a counter card, like a counter quick play card, quick play spell, but it's not a counter trap, which makes it really weird to play. But yeah, when your opponent activates a spell or trap card or a monster effect that would destroy a monster on the field, pay 1,500 life points and negate the activation. And if you do, destroy it. This card is pretty good. Like overall, this card works really well against a lot of the cards here, such as Snipe Hunter. I think it even works on Reflect Bounder, because Reflect Bounder would destroy itself. Right? Like, Reflect Bounder would inevitably destroy itself, so I'm pretty sure you can use My Body as a shield to negate Reflect Bounder's burn to pop itself. That's kind of interesting. And it also works for against Night Assailant, of course, which is kind of important. Anyway, Pot of Avarice, another reprint card. Like, a lot of these are reprints. You've seen a lot of these already. But shuffle 5 monsters in your graveyard into your deck and draw 2 cards. Really good card, really strong card. It's a +1. It lets you refuel strategies such as having more Night Assailants, having more Snipe Hunters, and having more Buckies. Black Horn of Heaven. Black Horn of Heaven has the effect of when your opponent would special summon exactly one monster, negate that special summon. And if you do, destroy it. That can be really effective because we have Cyber Shadow Gardener in this, and I think a couple of fusion monsters, for example. But Cyber Shadow Gardener is a really weird trap monster. During your opponent's main phase, special summon this card as an effect monster. When an opponent's monster declares an attack that targets this card, the attack and defense of this card become the attack and defense of the attacking monster. Once per turn, during your opponent's end phase, set this card in its spell trap zone. You can't activate this during your turn. I think you can actually activate it during your turn, but if your opponent then, like, if you activate it on your turn, it doesn't become a monster. It only becomes a monster during your opponent's main phase, which is interesting. It's a really cool idea, but I don't think they really did it justice in any way. Another reprint, Sakuretsu Armor. Sakuretsu Armor is a really good removal or combat trick. Works wonders against like Vanity's Fiend, Wang Hu, and Satellite Cannon. Then you have the strongest negation in the game, Solemn Judgment. When a monster would be special summoned, or a spell trap card is activated, pay half of your life points and negate the summoner activation. Easy as. And then Threatening Roar, and again, basically a combat trick. Really useful, really handy, really powerful. My side deck is this is gonna go to the new rules that we added into the game, into the format. We have to have 15 cards from the main set of the format, or our deck won't be qualified. So For example, I have exactly 15 cards from Cyberdark Impact in my main deck here. So the way that I did that was I made a side deck of Cyberdark Impact cards, and I sided out the cards that I wanted to have in my deck for the Cyberdark Impact cards. So in game 2 and game 3, odds are I'm just going to go back to the deck that I was going to play originally anyhow. But yeah, we start out with Big Shell Gardener, 2.6k defensive wall. We've seen this before, we don't really need to cover this in much detail. Wang Hu, Mysterious Guard, Satellite Cannon, Book of Moon, Enemy Controller, Limited Removal. Limited Removal is a card that I don't think I got to talk about yet because I'm stupid. I think it showed up in a earlier set, but Limit Removal has the effect of doubling the attack of all machine monsters you currently control until the end of this turn. And during the end phase, you destroy the monsters that had their attacks get doubled. Really good effect. Can finish the game in like one turn. I think this is gonna come up in the next structure decks too. So and another 2 copies of Powder Avarice and another copy of Sacred Tremor and Solemn Judgment. But that does it for the deck breakdown. I don't think this deck is overall like strong at all. I don't think this set is very interesting, and I think the champion pack is the only saving grace here. But I do hope that these games go well because, man, I've been on a losing streak recently. So hopefully this will turn it around. But yes, good luck with the games.
And guys and gals, we are back with the deck. I just realized my laundry machine is on, so hopefully it's not too loud. But yeah, let's take a look at the deck and see what we're working with. This should be pretty swift since there's not a lot to talk about. But first, let me cover the 15 cards since if you caught the start, you heard about the rule that we have to have at least 15 cards from Cyberdark Impact in our initial main deck. So the 15 cards that I picked are 12 monsters here, as well as then 3 traps. So first we have 3 Snipe Hunter, actually a very good card, 1500 attack. By discarding a card, you can target a card in the field, and unless you roll a 1 or a 6 by rolling a 6-sided die, you destroy the target. Can be used multiple times in a row if you have a card, but obviously a third of the time will fail. But because of stuff like us having access to super strong back row like Solemn Judgment and Sakuretsu, and even My Body, because I mean they can use My Body to protect My Body, but that's kind of weird. And especially Satellite Cannon, that's the big thing that we want to hit with Snipe Hunter. It's like, I feel like very core, and I feel like this is one of the few actual cards that I'll actually keep in from Cyberdark Impact. 3 Abaki, it's a 1700 beater that burns both players for 500 when it gets sent to the graveyard as a result of battle. And it's a Rada reference, I guess. It's not very good, but we're playing it because we kind of have to. Same thing with Rampaging Rhinos, although this can be a 2k beat stick, which is actually decent, but it plays around with columns and has to attack the same card in the same column in order to be 2k, so that's kind of gimmicky, and it's obvious can't get over the biggest thing that is Big Shield Gardener, or it can't beat over Satellite Cannon anyway, because it's not a level 7. So, still pretty gimmicky. 3 Cyber Ogre, an absolutely horrible level 5, where you can discard this card from your hand to graveyard to negate 1 battle involving a Cyber Ogre on your side of the field, and then it gains until the end of its next battle 2000 attack. Or awful effect. But why it's here is because, once again, I wanted to find something, and I feel like if we can get to Cyber Ogre 2, that would actually be pretty decent. Unfortunately, the problem is that Cyber Ogre 2 is a level 7, so it can't even beat over Satellite Cannon. But everything else, like Cyber Ogre, will always be bigger than whatever it's swinging into. So if we can get that, that's why we're playing the 3 poly. We will not be summoning Cyberdark Dragon. I'm just continuing my tradition of always jamming all the extra deck monsters in. So, yeah. And before we continue with the monsters, I feel like I'll cover the last 3 cards. We have a single By Road Sacrifice. I'll be honest, I don't know why. I guess whatever, we'll just continue with it. If a monster your side of the field is destroyed by battle, you can spell summon a Cyber Ogre from your hand. Yeah. And 2 Cyber Shadow Guard, now third of in the side, which with hindsight, I do not really know why I just wouldn't play 3 of Cyber Shield Gardener and not play this awful card. But, you know what, we'll just go with it. Maybe, you know, maybe Barbarous Sacrifice will pay off and we'll get an anime mount. But yeah, Shadow Guard now on your opponent's main phase, you can special summon this as a effect monster. That's a level 4 that essentially when your opponent swings into it, it gets the attack and defense equal to the attack and defense of the attacking monster. So essentially it's just always crashes with your opponent's monster. But obviously you don't have to swing into it if your opponent has any other monsters. So it's very gimmicky. And during the end phase, it gets set in the spell trap zone. So during your turn, you can't just use it as easy tribute fodder. But that's the cards that we are forced to play, essentially, apart from Side Hunter covered. And as for the Champion Pack K1 cards, they are very good. So 3 Night Assailant on flip, it destroys a monster your opponent controls, and if it's sent from the hand to the graveyard, you can target a flip monster in your grave except Night Assailant, add it to your hand. This is very important for dealing with satellite cannon, which obviously we basically just can't beat over. We need to pop it with effects. 2 Big Shield Guard now. I was so much pondering between playing 3 of this and 2 Reflect Banner or 2 and then 3 Reflect Banner. I ended up with this ratio. We'll see how I feel about games 2 and 3 if I want to side into more of it instead. And more often than not, I'll be honest, more often than not, like game 1, I'm probably siding out of most of the stuff that has to do with the package with the Cyber Ogres, so Polymerizations, as well as most of the stuff from Cyberdark Impact. So our side deck is actually very relevant because there's a very good chance that starting from game 2, we just side everything here in. So yeah. Big Shield Guard now, obviously 2600 defense, absolutely massive. When a spell card is active, targets the face down card and no other cards. You change this card to face up defense position and negate the activation. And then when it's attacked, it gets flipped to attack position at the end of the damage step. So if your opponent wants to get rid of it, most of the time they will just have to swing into it with 2 monsters, which means they take some damage in the process, which is very good. Real Bounder is 1700 and Beat Stick, where before damage calculation, if it's being attacked by an opponent's monster and was in attack position at the start of the damage step, your opponents get burned by the monster that it's attacking this attack, and then unfortunately it pops itself afterwards. But I feel like this is like something that if we can't really get a way to get rid of satellite cannon swiftly, we can have something like Reflect Bounder be our monster, where obviously then, since Jeexx is taking the burn damage first before swinging over this, even if his satellite cannon sit there for 7 turns and it's absolutely massive, he can't swing over Reflect Bounder with, because he would just die himself. So he needs to find another monster before, and that maybe helps us stabilize. 3 poly, like I said, just for the Cyber Ogre, so these are getting sided out for games 2 and 3. Book of Moon at 3 copies. This is just a basically catch-all. We can use this to protect stuff like Big Shield Gardna that we have. We can use this to stop attacks. We can use this to reset Satellite Cannon. So it just works for a lot of stuff. A single econ, 2 more in the side that we will, like I said, probably side into games 2 and 3. Sorry about that. I don't know what that was. Target a face monster your opponent controls and change spell position, or it should be the monster to take control of a monster your opponent controls until the end phase. Obviously very good with stuff like Satellite Cannon, if maybe we have a monster Ansa. We have our Satellite Cannon, Jeexx' Satellite Cannon sitting. He doesn't have other monsters. We summon something. Just normal summon something, tribute it for econ, take a Satellite Cannon, then double Satellite Cannon swing. More often than not, will win you the game. 2 My Body Issue Shield, once again, 3rd one in the side deck. And this is to protect mostly our Satellite Cannon, but other stuff as well. There's a lot of powerful removal effects like Night Assailant, Night Snipe Hunter, Sakura's Armor as well. So My Body is just going to be very valuable to protect our stuff. 3 Sakuretsu, this is basically for anything that wants to be swinging at us, but once again, as with most of the stuff, 9 times out of 10, it's a way to actually deal with Satellite Cannon. 2 Solemn Judgment, 1 more in the side deck. Essentially, this is the one card that if I don't feel like siding into everything. I don't know if I'm going to be signing in that third Solemn. I probably still will, because it can be used mostly to negate back row. The summon thing I don't think is going to be as relevant, because I feel like 9 times out of 10 we will just be tribute setting Satellite Cannon. Obviously we then know what it is, so we don't have to swing into it. But still, like, I feel like Solemn Judgment this year actually more to be negating stuff like My Body as a Shield if we really need to get rid of Satellite Cannon, which we more often than not do. As for the side deck, stuff that we haven't covered yet, 3 Vanities Fiend. This is just a very good tribute summon. So for one tribute, you get a 2400 beat stick that prevents special summons. We basically don't care about that, because Cyber Shadow Gardener is the only thing that we will be special summoning apart from game 1 if we manage to get into Cyberdark 2 anyway. 3 King Tiger Wang Hu. This is here if there's something that I'm really missing that we actually want to stop with it. I feel like most of the stuff that's under this you don't want to be obviously normal summoning anyway, because you're going to be setting stuff like Night Assailant and Big Shield Guard now, so, and obviously Satellite Cannon as well. So Wang Hu doesn't work for those, but it's still here because there's no sorry about that, there's not much better stuff anyway, and it's still 1700. One more Big Shield Garden, like I said, as well as My Body Shield, Icon, and Solemn Judgment. And then finally, I feel like there's just I don't want that too high of a monster count. I feel like a lot of these bad sets where we have a super bad back row, it feels like I end up playing super high monster counts, and sometimes it can be very bricky if we're just drawing monsters. So Threatening Roar is just a decent buy a turn where your opponent cannot declare an attack this turn. Maybe if they flip Satellite Cannon into attack, obviously that then is a sign that, okay, now they're actually going to want to swing with it, so we can then just then at the end of their main phase 1 pop Threatening Roar, and they can swing with the Satellite Cannon. So yeah, I think very simple, straightforward deck. ChamP1 definitely just gives us a lot of like good staples, but honestly I do feel like it was still a good one to have for this episode, and we got very lucky with that, because I don't think like full Cyberdark episode would actually have even been funny or enjoyable, because the cards are just terrible, and there's really not much to do in these sets. So I think we got very lucky with that, so thank you Champion Pack Game 1 for that. Anyways, that was my deck breakdown. Hopefully you enjoyed the breakdowns, and we will see you in the Dueling Zone next. Peace. Ladies and lads, welcome to another episode of Historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning Journey. It is time for the most powerful set in the history of this card game, Cyberdark Impact. How are you feeling about today, Jeexx?
I'm quite heavily impacted by the darkness of this set. You could even say that I'm gonna go full cyber.
That might be the worst one thus far. Like, I'm not gonna lie. But
going cyber was the thing in Cyberpunk, right? In Edge Runners.
Yes,
Yeah. I'm gonna go cyber. I'm gonna fuck you up.
Not sicko mode, but cyber mode this time around.
Cyber.
But yeah, luckily we have the Champion Pack to save us, just in case you skipped right ahead to the matches. I explained it in the intro, but so from now on forward, where I don't know if it's going to be relative going forward, but for this set specifically, it was relevant. We are required to play at least 15 cards in our main deck for the first game for a set in these episodes where we have a set and then like a complementary set. Like this time we have Champion Pack 1. So that is to avoid the Cyberdark Impact having 0 Cyberdark Impact cards in our decks, which is very likely to happen if we didn't have that rule. So just for that, we might actually end up seeing some actual Cyberdark Impact cards because of it. So yeah, and that's why you will definitely see some not that good cards in our decks. But
Bucky.
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 Thank you. Shout out to Rada, the GOAT.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
The greatest.
He is. But best of luck. Are you gonna throw a rock today, Jeexx?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
I would never lie.
Can
I go first?
That. Honestly, you were honest. So I'm gonna be honest as well and say no.
You're gonna go fuck.
I wonder if at some point, like, or in some sense, you would actually want to elect to go second, or maybe with some deck actually.
I don't think there's like ever gonna be a situation until way later into 5Ds or even XYZ maybe, or Zexal, I mean,
or
where would want to go.
next week when we are playing Dinosaurs and Ancient Gears, two notoriously going second decks, because they are definitely in full power in that structure episode. Yep.
Yep, that's what they are.
Can't wait to summon Chaos Gear, Ancient Gear Golem and swing over all of your stuff with 4500. Haha. Anyways, I will just start my turn by humbly setting a nice pyramid and passing back to you.
Okay, I will go stand by main, and I will summon Snipe Hunter.
Oh.
And I will activate Snipe Hunter's effect. I will discard from my hand a card, and that card shall be Reflect Bounder. And I will roll a dice. I will target your face down.
The monster. Alright, so 1 or 6.
I will roll
1 or 6. I appreciate it.
Bruh! Bruh! What the fuck is this?
That's a good start, you know. That's a great interaction to Snipe Hunter. You don't want to roll again.
No, I don't want to roll again.
It is HP
Gardner.
So take your 1100.
Hell yeah. And then I'll just set 2 cards.
Yeah, and off damage step. Gardner goes to attack.
And pass.
Alrighty. Draw standby main. It's actually kind of interesting. You know, we will we? I will normal summon Reflect Bounder. Is that okay?
Reflect Bounder? Oh my. Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I would like to proceed to battle phase, and I will attempt to swing over Snipe Hunter for 200.
Yeah.
I don't think risking a Sakuretsu for 100 damage is worth it, and not being able to set my Gardner in defense. So I think I'll just go main to set Gardner back to defense and pass.
I'm gonna just set a card now and pass.
Alrighty. Draw stand by main. I'll be honest, I do not remember, apart from a few cards, what back row is in the set.
No.
Shit, man. I think I'll set a back row.
Yeah.
There is there like mass monster removal? How greedy do I want to be?
There is none.
I don't think so. I will normal summon Snipe Hunter.
You're gonna normal summon Snipe Hunter? Okay.
Is it okay?
It's okay.
Alright, I would like to proceed to battle phase.
At the end of your main phase, I will activate Cyber Shadow Gardener to special summon it as an effect monster of a machine Earth level 4 attack ? And defense ? It is also still a trap. Is this acceptable?
So this was the card that's essentially always the same?
Yes.
That is fine.
That is fine. Oh, okay, I will summon it.
Then I will proceed to battle phase.
Yes.
So essentially it's always like, do I want to crash with that thing? Or do I want to try my luck?
Ooh. Fancy.
There's, I mean, bro.
Huh?
There
I
is
mean, you
no
can
way
guaranteed get rid of it.
I
And you're
can
gonna
by crashing
it's
into it.
it's gonna be an even trade as well, regardless of if you discard or get the pop.
Yeah, it's essentially that's the thing. Is like, do I want to lose a card in my hand or do I want to lose Snipe 100? That's what I'm currently pondering. I do think the card in my hand is actually more valuable, so I would like to attempt to crash Sakuretsu.
Okay.
Okay, Snipe Hunter is gone in 1700.
Ha! You fallen for my trap. I will activate.
Sakuretsu
Sakuretsu.
armor. Yes, sir.
So
And Reflect Bounder is gone. We go main 2, and I will just pass.
I'm gonna act as soul charge. Oh, okay.
Oh! Huh?
Huh? In this format?
I can't.
At this time of day?
I can't wait till I get to play Soul Charge.
I'm gonna summon Wang Hu.
Ooh.
And set a card and a pass.
Yep. 1400 or less. Yeah. That's quite annoying. Yeah, that's so annoying. I'll set another monster and pass. It's not flip summon, right? It's normal or special, yeah.
It's normal or special, yeah. I thought for some reason it was the other way around.
Flip face up, I guess. I mean, that would be weird. That would be insane. Like, you could just swing into Big Shield Garden when it gets flipped, it gets destroyed. That would be nuts.
I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna attack into the garden, and I'm gonna lose 900. And then it will change to attack position, and I will murder it with my Cyber Esper if this is okay.
That is the first thing is fine, but then when Cyber Esper attacks, I would like to.
Haha! You have fallen for my trap. I will activate my body as a shield to pay 1,500 life points, and Cyber Esper cannot be destroyed, and Sacred Trap gets negated.
Yep. In response to that, I will activate Book of Moon.
In response to that, I will activate Storm Judgment.
Oh shit! That's actually a 6 stack, so that's what 2150. Yeah, unfortunately, I do not have it.
You're gonna activate
that, so yeah, everything there into the grave, and then you swing over it for 1100.
Yeah, that's disappointing. I was hoping you'd get to negate that.
that was a sick turn of events, though. Yeah.
That was then, real anime.
Yeah, and what I draw for my turn is a Cyber Shadow Gardener.
Oh, I see. Somehow. I will do a lot with this information. Just be warned.
I mean, the awkward thing. Actually, do question marks count as it being less than 1700? Because technically it's...
I think they count as zeros, yeah.
Okay.
Because it doesn't have an attack until it battles, so it's 0-0 until
gotcha.
It battles.
But yeah, the reason why I was worried about a flip summon is I would like to flip summon my Night Assailant to pop Wang.
No!
And then I will normal summon to Reflect Bounder.
No!
And I will swing over this thing for 1500 and then poke you for 2. And then set this mystery card in my main phase 2.
I wonder what that card could possibly be.
It could be anything. It could be a Solemn Judgment for you now.
I'm gonna normal summon Reflect Bounder, and I'm gonna attack the Night Assailant.
Sakuretsu.
And I'm gonna... What? Oh, whatever.
I mean, depending on what I drew, it might have mattered, but...
I mean...
Because you're popping my Reflect Bounder with that, but then we are both on top deck war. I have the...
And you have Garden.
One turn, yeah. I think that's fair. But yeah, what a great game 1. Now, let's go side out of all of our Cyberdark Impact cards, shall we?
Hell yeah.
Didn't get to summon a Baki. What a bummer.
I'm gonna leave a Baki in.
Oh shit, the big burn plan.
Giga-based.
But yeah, Let's go side for game 2. Alright. I have never sided that many cards in an episode. But I did not get rid of all the Cyberdark Impact cards. There are some still in.
Ooh, that's fancy, I must say. I'm gonna just happily set all of these cards. Don't really care.
Jesus, that's a lot. Huh. You know, I'm a big fan of you, so I think I'll do this.
Oh man, I got a fan.
We're just making art here.
Oh my god. What if I
Don't.
What if I just like?
Don't. I'd rather.
Wait, how does? No, that's not a good idea. Actually, I'm just gonna set a card. No, we're gonna wait. We're gonna sit on this for a while, okay?
That's so scary.
You got 3 face downs too, man. What do you mean?
Set a monster and pass. I'm not man enough.
I'm gonna set a monster and pass. I just realized that you get around judgment by setting.
Yeah.
It doesn't count as a summon, yeah. Kind of forgot about that.
But after that, you need to flip summon the thing. Unless there is obviously some stuff that you can just nuke. How greedy do I want to be? There's 4 back row. You gotta. I gotta go for it. I will. It's so risky though.
Aww. God, I'm glad Cyberdark Impact is giving us such intense games using all these Cyberdark Impact cards.
I will tribute summon. Tributing my Big Shield Guard. A Vanity's Fiend.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That's okay, yeah.
Alright. One of these is gonna be Gardener for sure. Would you have 2 Gardeners already? There's no way, right? I mean, how much do I care about taking 200? You would set the Gardener first.
Would I?
Yeah.
I have set monster, flip monster, remember?
Yeah, I know. It's like
there's
one
two
of these.
really good
One
ones.
of these is Gardener. One of these is Assailant. That's why I was saying I'm very greedy, because obviously Assailant just kills things. I think. Would you have flipped it up? I'm gonna say this one's gonna be Assailant. I'll swing into this face down.
I'm going to activate in response to your attack. Sakuretsu.
I luckily have my body.
Your body?
Yes.
As a shield?
It is a shield.
Thinking.
Sure.
It's that's fine, yeah.
And
then
the
I'm
attack. Yeah, then the attack.
thinking.
Yeah, sure.
Can still respond. Don't even want to do that. I'm saying that's so bad. I go billion minus, but it doesn't really matter in this case, does it? It kind of does. Yeah, I'm just gonna use Book of Moon on Vantage.
Yep. He gets set.
Oh.
You really wanted to protect whatever that thing is, huh?
Because my other line of play is, it makes me eventually, like, I would go minus harder than this, honestly, if you get rid of this card. So
I'm assuming you have a tribute then of your own. I mean, yeah, nothing more I can do, so I'll just pass.
okay. I am going to tribute summon, or
Yep.
tribute set, using my Reflect Bounder.
Yep.
And then I will set another card, and I will pass.
So now that's... Judgment sucks here, but... I wonder if you would have gone through all of that if you had Judgment. I mean, obviously what you just said could be Judgment as well.
Now, I just want to point out, by the way,
Yeah.
Mysterious Guard requires cards to be face up on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So, just what you think about that.
I'm so curious. Curious as to kill the cat. I will flip summon when it's feet.
That's acceptable, yeah.
I'll go battle phase. Wing into the same monster.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Change fan faces. This is.
Should have sacked for Vanity's King, or whatever the fuck that thing's called.
Vanity's ruler, I think.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Vanity's ruler. Yeah, I'll just pass after. There's been too much thinking. I completely forgot. Like, literally, just now you tribute set for that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's a world where you tribute set Vanity's Fiend for whatever reason, but... That's my bad. My brain.
Just going to pass.
Yep, so... It's at 1,000 now. Do I poking the other thing and get blasted by Night Assailant? There is no world where you have a Night Assailant still sitting there. I'm gonna say there's no way. Poking the this thing.
Aha! It's
Is it a Night Assailant?
Gardner.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I would have been very surprised. He gets flipped into attack, but doesn't matter, so you don't have to do that now. Yeah. Me too. Set another monster and pass. At least it has to wait 3 turns.
I can just change Garnet back to defense here, right?
Already? Yeah, it didn't have the limitations like the goblin things.
Then I just set another card and pass.
Jesus Christ. That's a lot of set monsters. I mean, yeah, I gotta go for it. Think, normal summon Snipe Hunter. Is that okay?
I will respond to the normal summon of the Snipe Hunter with Pokemon when he hits the field enemy.
Yep. He will get set.
Yep.
Now this is all part of your master plan. You're gonna flip summon another snipe hunter.
Or flip summon Night Assailant.
Oh my god.
Anything on that?
works too.
It's a flip summon, so like, if you have Judgment, you can Judgment it. But yeah, I will target the Satellite Cannon if the flip summon is okay. I
didn't think it's worth playing out anymore, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of like stuff happening back and forth, so yeah. But now the problem here becomes like, I guess I just take a bunch of damage. Actually, Sakuretsu is so bad here though. Use one. I deal 23 by taking 24. Or I take 2. Maybe this is greedy. Fuck, it's so bad. If there's... Battle phase. I will... Vanity's Feed into Guard. Is that okay?
Yep.
I take 200. It gets flipped to attack. And then, yeah, this one over it for 100.
Wait, what? No.
Luckily no Saku. I feel like my position is pretty nice here, but... if we get to another cannon or Gartnet, then I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Yeah, I'll just pass. Bro, this game has some whiteboards. I do think that's a pretty awkward position for you too, though.
Going to normal summon.
Yeah.
Where am I? Doesn't
now I know
matter.
you have a normal summonable monster in your hand. I swear there's been more thinking like happening this game than or like this app than any other before, by the way.
It's champion pack, baby.
Hell yeah.
We arguably have real cards here.
Yeah. One satellite. 2 Book of Moon already.
I'm gonna pop enemy controller on Vanity's Fiend.
Changing its spell position, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. It will get set.
No, you won't get set.
Oh, it changes.
The defense.
Yeah, gotcha. My bad.
Yeah. And then I will summon Snipe Hunter.
Yep.
And I will activate Snipe Hunter's effect.
Oh, not even swing it over.
No, I'm gonna try my luck first.
No shot.
And then it's gonna get Sakuretsu. Presumably.
I do not have Sakuretsu, but I do have a book.
Yeah, book.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do.
Lost to 2 dice rolls!
That's actually insane. Like, you tried it twice, like, once last game, once this game, and both lost. That's actually insane. Like, you know the funny part? Like, I was genuinely thinking of siding Snipe Hunter out. Like, I literally was. That when I said I was pondering on a few cards, I was literally thinking, do I get rid of Snipe Hunter? Because, like, literally you whiffing the one time you tried and you whiffing it made me like, is this gonna be reliable enough?
It's 66% chance to succeed.
Yeah, exactly. It's you should.
Like, what are the odds, literally, to fail it twice?
Hypothetically, if I was to roll a dice now, it's gonna land on 2.
What the fuck?
Okay. But that is. But I was genuinely thinking, like, do I actually want to side out of this card? Oh, oh, it's just you. That's so tragic. Oh well.
Yeah, baby.
Discard
1 in 4.
Discard 4 cards to pop a card.
1 in 4, baby.
What would I?
That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
I drew a Wanghu.
That was. God fucking damn it!
What
This
did you
here
draw?
too. Man, can you let me activate this video game? Man,
Oh yeah, that was gross.
man.
I was actually not even playing pot myself. I mean, I
was
guess
playing one.
My grave wasn't really getting filled, but yeah. And
Because
then
for me, I figured, oh, the game is gonna stall out eventually anyway, and we're gonna be in a situation where we want to have our flip summons or flip monsters back in the day.
yeah,
Like Night Assailant.
yeah. With hindsight, like it's pretty smart.
Like this thing and this thing are so fucking horrendous to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you have Gardener on top of that with Mysterious Guard. Because, like, it's just, you lose 2 cards every time this flips, basically.
You know the
And then-
crazy thing?
Yeah.
I did not play this card in my main or in my side.
I think this card is, alongside Night Assailant, really good
Reading
for
it
control.
now, definitely.
It's super fucking good.
Which set was
like-
this in? Was it in Champion Pack?
Champion Pack. Yeah, this is from Invasion of Chaos. Not Invasion of Chaos. The Legacy of Darkness, I think. It's from the warrior side of the 3-way fight.
Oh, okay. Because I must have completely overlooked this card. Because this is my first time I remember ever seeing this card.
So the original reasoning why I put it in was like, okay, it's pretty good for like stalling out.
Mm-hmm.
Like you flip you bounce a card, or you spin a card, and then on top of that, if I happen to have the perfect board, I get to bounce a card. But then on top of this, you also have fucking Night Assailant, and Night Assailant has the effect of you get to return one back to your hand when it dies.
Yeah, that's true. I was completely just like, okay, Night Assailant, obviously, getting rid of stuff like Gardener, getting rid of Satellite kind of is going to be just impossible. But even though you don't have fleet monsters to get back, it's crazy. But yeah.
So, sorry, not when it dies.
Nasty.
It's for when you discard Night Assailant using Snipe Hunter, for example.
Yeah.
You get Mysterious Guards back from the graveyard.
Yeah, I don't think there were other discard effects here,
no.
right?
But it's fairly powerful.
Yeah.
Because you can do it an unlimited number of times, basically. So every Night Assailant that you discard from your hand, if you have Mysterious Guards in the graveyard, you get to do another one.
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, that's very big. But
Slightly tilted.
Snipe Hunter was not hitting this time around, huh? That is quite comical. I had another My Body as well.
Hey.
But that was an interesting episode, I guess. I was pretty happy, although we just got 2 games. Like, I was pretty happy with like how much that was actually happening. Like, and we actually had to think, which is rare.
It's surprising, yeah.
Now, I think this question is gonna be quite redundant, but since we are playing structure decks next time around, those being the Machine Revolt was the name, I think, of the Ancient Gear / Gadget deck, and then Dinosaur's Rage. I think I know which one you're gonna pick, but which one would you like to pick?
I'm gonna go with Dino DNA.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, I'm gonna get absolutely blasted next time. Unless you draw like the absolute shits and I just keep getting gadgets in my opening hand. But yeah, that'll be interesting? Question mark?
No.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. Like,
it's gonna be.
If I win a game, I'm gonna be very impressed and happy.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'm gonna win a game. I'm highly doubtful. Yeah, I'm highly doubtful.
Have you looked at the decks?
Yes, but at the same time, I've also looked at the win con for Dinosaur's Rage. And it's... Yeah. If you don't draw Big Evolution Pill and you don't get to discard shit, you're kind of just stalled out at points.
Yeah, definitely. If I win a game, I'm gonna be very impressed and happy. I'm a bit honest. I don't think I'm gonna win a game.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'm gonna win a game. I'm highly doubtful. Yeah, I'm highly doubtful.
Have you looked at the decks?
Yes, but at the same time, I've also looked at the win con for Dinosaur's Rage. And it's... Yeah. If you don't draw Big Evolution Pill and you don't get to discard shit, you're kind of just stalled out at points.
I mean, yeah, but how am I closing you out with gadgets? You literally can you set up Stego or a miracle egg, and I'm just sitting there like, all right, dude. When do I get 2 tributes for gadgets on Chimera or Golem?
But the Chimera is just 1 tribute, no?
Isn't there? Wait,
Yeah, it's 1 tribute.
I know there is that. Wait, no, it's Dragon, right? Yeah, it's gadgets on Dragon. Yeah,
Dragon's the one you don't want to play.
I mean,
You would
yeah,
rather
I
play-
would rather play Golem if I want to run a 2 tribute monster. Why do I not have Gear Town, man?
Wait, no, never mind. What the fuck? Wait, Golem can't be summoned from the graveyard, right? Am I
Yeah,
fucking?
no.
So cannot be special summoned at all
Yeah,
unless you have
because
Gear
all
Town.
of the modern stuff says it ignores the conditions because they realize, people are not gonna be bringing this out.
So you would want to play Gadgetron instead, because the fact that Gadgetron doesn't have that. You can special summon it. I don't know if there's anything that can special summon it. But
yeah, it would be really cool if there was. There is a card that was like, hey, tribute stuff and equal to the amount of stuff summon an ancient gear monster with that level, but
a factor, right?
there are no. I don't have 8 slots on my board to get to those monsters, so that's sort of the problem. Gadgets are good, definitely. Gadgets are very good. They make the deck like decently consistent on that regard, but everything else, I am not looking forward to it. Definitely.
Reasonable.
But
Ooh, you can actually turbo shit out if you use Ancient Gear Castle. You can get a tribute monster out on turn 1.
Castle is actually like very good.
Oh wait, not turn 1, turn 2. Okay.
Yeah, because you still need the normal, obviously. But yeah, like Castle is honestly one of the best cards in the deck. But in that deck, it sort of just works as a training wheels, which I guess to a certain degree, like Evolution Pill is the same thing for the Dino deck. But I think the Dino decks just payoff is just better. But
Ultimate Tyranno is so fucking good.
Yeah, if you get to it.
Because, but that's the thing. If you get to it, you usually will just close up the game there.
Yeah, and like Conductor Tyranno is 3,300. That is massive.
But that's worthless. Am I gonna just sit on Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, Superconductor Tyranno, and be like, yep, that's 3.3k.
Honestly, not. I don't think that's the worst plan.
Just to say, point this out, you have cards like Rare Melamorph.
Yep.
You have cards like Ancient Gear Face, and you have even Ancient Gear Castle gives you a boost.
Yeah, Castle is 300, so Golem and stuff like that can crash with.
And you also have Ultimate Offering, which means that if you have a single gadget and Ultimate Offering in hand, you just turbo out every single gadget.
When I say like one of the best cards in the deck, Ultimate Offering is 125% the best card in the deck. Like, no doubt.
Also, you have Limited Removal, Enemy Controller, and Heavy Storm and MST. And even Pot of Avarice.
There's a lot of macro removal.
Yeah, I think it's not a clear cut. Like, this is outright better than the other. Simply because the fact that your spells are so much better than mine.
I don't think we'll ever get to the case of Yugi Evolution, Kaiba Evolution.
Yeah.
But I do still think like it's.
Oh wait, never mind. I do know a point in the future when that will happen, and that's
really?
Ancient Gear Structure Deck R versus Dinosaur Structure Deck R.
Did those come out?
Isn't that
around the same time too?
Yeah, those came out back to back.
I didn't even remember.
Yeah, but basically, you just fucking get shit on. As Ancient Gear, you can't win that.
I mean,
it's just
isn't that
power gap.
literally the dinosaur structure that make dinosaurs like actually competitively viable?
Yeah.
Isn't it that one? Yeah, because like
the one that won Worlds.
You got like Oviraptor was there. You had I don't even remember.
Ultimate Conductor is in there.
Yeah, Ultimate Conductor. Yeah, that was like 3,500. Pop all of your opponent's shit with non-targeting shit and burn them for it. And double evolution pill. At least, Animador and something Saur, whatever the crystal lizard is. I think that's not there yet. But yeah, like that was the in. I wonder with like freeze structure like the trap tricks being really good. Like, is that still the best structure deck to come out like ever?
Well, no other structure deck has made a completely non-existent deck win Worlds.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, it was literally went from not being relevant at all to that's tier 1.
Yeah, like it's like the gap between dinosaurs before the structure deck and after the structure deck is so massive that it can't be quantified because there's like over 15 years worth of time that was left in that one structure deck, and it was competitive.
Yeah,
it's just stupid.
Sometimes you get stuff printed to win Worlds. Sometimes it's Blue Eyes countering Pendulum meta in the middle of Pendulum meta, and sometimes it's them printing just a bunch of bonker shit in a structure deck.
Yeah.
But I honestly like stuff like that. Like same thing with kind of the modern like trap tricks structure deck, which was actually like had just a bunch of good cards in them. It's like that's cool. Like them actually printing out basically game ready stuff for you to play without you having to blow fucking.
Damn. I just realized it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
They both, the structure deck are for Dinos and Ancient Gears, both released on the same day, and they both released on my birthday.
Oh shit, that's actually so cool.
Yeah.
That's so sick, actually.
Konami knew. Mm-hmm.
They knew. They definitely knew.
They knew.
They knew. Yeah, this guy is gonna be a Dino player for sure.
No. Oh no! This is from
Super Sentai.
2017. Like these two. These are the two I'm talking about.
Yeah. I knew they were like pretty. I was gonna say like pretty new. That 2017 was 6 years ago.
Yeehaw! Isn't it cool thinking about the inevitable passage of time or unending passage of time? Did you listen to the preamble on the previous deck breakdown?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, did you know that Call of Duty Black Ops released 13 years ago?
Yes, I had my weekly, but like, it's not even bi-weekly. I have my weekly existential crisis at that point. It's funny because like I always like when I listen to that like to make sure like if there's stuff that I should cut or stuff like that. I literally like when that happened. I paused the fucking video and I googled that shit. I was like, holy shit, he's not kidding. That is messed up.
It's fucking wild, man. And the only reason why I knew that was because Skyrim released a year later on the 11th of March, 11th of November, 2011. Like 11/11/11. And Modern Warfare 3 released like a week before that.
You know another funny thing? In a month, I have been on YouTube for 11 years. Like,
oh my fucking god.
I have been uploading on YouTube for 11 years.
Uploading?
Yes. That is
insane.
My
fucking god.
I don't even remember how it happened, but I was over at a friend's place in a sleepover. We were playing Dark Souls co-op, and randomly I just got this idea, bro. Let's just do PvP and I'll just record that shit. A lot of my old videos are now, like, they're long gone. I do not want to look at them because that is awful cringe. A lot of the cringe that myself wanted to keep because it's, like, something to kind of fondly look back on. But some of the stuff was like, I do not want... over my dead body is someone seeing this. Like, no shot. But it was... I checked out a little while ago, and it was October 2012. Crazy to think about. 11 years. Oh.
Fucking despair, man.
I am old.
Same.
My body is cold. But enough talk about us being actual dinosaurs and rotting machines. We will hear more about that next week with the Ancient Gears structure deck, and I think it's Machine Revolt as well as Dinosaurs Rage. So hopefully we'll see you fellas then. And after that we are on to Strike of Neos next. So that'll be very interesting. Anyways, thank you for watching the episode today, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.